Hey everyone, Dr. James Whitaker here from American Urologist, and what I'm about to share with you today will completely blow your mind. If you're a man over 35 who's been struggling with energy, performance, or confidence, this video is going to change your life forever. But before I tell you this incredible story, I need you to do something right now. If you've ever felt embarrassed about your performance in the bedroom, if you've ever worried that your best days are behind you, or if you've ever wondered why some men stay vital and energetic well into their 70s while others fade away in their 40s, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Because what I'm about to reveal is information that could literally save your marriage, restore your confidence, and give you back the masculine energy you thought was gone forever. Are you ready? Because this story is going to shock you. 3 weeks ago, I had a patient walk into my office who completely changed how I think about male vitality. His name was David, a 52-year-old construction foreman who looked like he should be in his 30s but felt like he was 80. David sat down across from my desk and said something that haunts me to this day. "Dr. Whitaker," he said with tears in his eyes, "I'm afraid my wife is going to leave me. Last Saturday night, we tried to be intimate, and I couldn't. I just couldn't perform. She was understanding, but I saw the disappointment in her eyes. This has been happening for months, and I'm terrified she's going to find someone who can give her what I can't." But here's what made David's story even more heartbreaking. He pulled out a grocery bag filled with supplement bottles, 23 different male enhancement products he'd been taking for 8 months. "Doctor, I've spent over $2,400 on these pills and powders. Some nights I take 15 different supplements before bed, hoping tomorrow will be different. But nothing works. I'm starting to think I'm broken beyond repair." That moment changed everything for me. Here was a hard-working man who had been convinced by slick marketing that expensive pills were his only hope, when the real answer was sitting right in his kitchen cabinet. What happened next will shock you. Instead of prescribing expensive treatments or recommending more supplements, I taught David about 6 foods. Yes, regular foods you can buy at any grocery store that would transform his masculine vitality in ways those expensive pills never could. But first, let me ask you something. Drop a fire emoji in the comments right now if you've ever spent money on supplements that promised incredible results but left you feeling disappointed and frustrated. I bet most of you watching this have been there. The supplement industry has convinced millions of men that they need exotic herbs from the Amazon rainforest or expensive testosterone boosters with names they can't pronounce. But what if I told you that the most powerful male enhancement compounds on Earth are foods that have been available for thousands of years? David's transformation was so incredible that I had to share it with you. In just 6 weeks, using nothing but foods from his local grocery store, David went from being terrified of intimacy to feeling more confident and powerful than he had in a decade. His wife actually called my office to thank me. She said, "Dr. Whitaker, I don't know what you told my husband, but he's like a different man. His energy is through the roof, his confidence is back, and our relationship is better than it's been in years." What did you do? What I did was teach David the truth about male vitality that the supplement industry doesn't want you to know. And today, I'm going to share that exact same information with you. But before we dive in, I need to tell you something important. If you're watching this video and thinking, "Oh, this is just another doctor trying to sell me something," let me stop you right there. Everything I'm about to share with you is available at your local grocery store for less than $50 per month. Compare that to the hundreds or thousands of dollars men spend on questionable supplements every year. Also, make sure you watch this entire video because at the end, I'm going to give you David's exact daily protocol, the same one that transformed his life in just 6 weeks. But you need to understand the science first so you know why these foods work when expensive pills fail. Now let me tell you David's complete story because I guarantee it's going to sound exactly like your own experience. David came to me after 8 months of supplement hell. He tried everything marketed to desperate men. Testosterone boosters with ridiculous names like Alpha Beast Dominator, pre-workout supplements that cost more per serving than a restaurant meal, and mysterious pills from overseas that promise to restore your manhood overnight. Each time he tried something new, the same pattern would repeat. For the first few days, he'd feel a placebo effect, A slight boost in confidence or energy that convinced him the product was working. But within a week or two, he'd be back to feeling exhausted, unmotivated, and terrified of disappointing his wife. The worst part, David's health was actually getting worse from all these supplements. His sleep was terrible from stimulants in pre-workout formulas. His digestion was a mess from mysterious herbal blends. And his anxiety was through the roof from constantly worrying about whether the next pill would finally be the one. When I tested David's blood, I found exactly what I expected. Despite taking 23 different supplements, he was severely deficient in the three most important nutrients for male vitality: zinc, magnesium, and nitric oxide precursors. His body was literally starving for the building blocks of masculine energy while he was filling it with expensive garbage. That's when I decided to try something completely different. Instead of adding more supplements to David's regimen, I had him throw away every single bottle and start over with just 6 foods. "Doctor," David said, "you want me to eat my way to better performance? That sounds too simple to work." "David," I replied, "simple doesn't mean ineffective. Some of the most powerful medicines on earth come from foods, and I'm going to prove it to you." What happened over the next 6 weeks was nothing short of miraculous. The first power food, dark chocolate, nature's circulation. Miracle. The first food I introduced to David was dark chocolate, but not the sugary candy bars you find at gas stations. I'm talking about real, high-quality, dark chocolate with at least 85% cacao content. "Doctor, are you serious?" David laughed. "You want me to eat chocolate to improve my performance?" Let me explain why this works, because the science will blow your mind. Dark chocolate contains compounds called flavonoids that have a direct impact on blood vessel function. These flavonoids cause your blood vessels to relax and expand, dramatically improving blood flow to all the areas that matter most for male performance. Here's the incredible part. Studies show that men who consume high flavonoid dark chocolate experience up to a 25% improvement in circulation within just 2 hours. That's faster and more effective than many prescription medications, with 0 side effects. But here's what most men don't know. The quality of chocolate matters enormously. Milk chocolate and cheap dark chocolate contain very few active flavonoids because they've been processed out. You need real, minimally processed dark chocolate with at least 85% cacao content. I had David eat exactly 1 ounce of high-quality dark chocolate every day at 3 p.m. Not more, not less, 1 ounce. Within 10 days, he called me excited. "Dr. Whitaker, I don't know if it's the chocolate or something else, but last night was the first time in months I felt truly confident about my performance, and I didn't disappoint." The research on dark chocolate and male performance is absolutely stunning. A study published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine found that men who consumed high flavonoid chocolate daily for 8 weeks showed significant improvements in erectile function compared to men who didn't. But here's the key. Consistency is everything. You can't eat chocolate once and expect miracles. Your body needs time to rebuild its circulatory system with these powerful compounds. The second power food, watermelon, the natural performance enhancer. The second food that transformed David's life was watermelon, specifically the white rind that most people throw in the garbage. "Doctor, you want me to eat watermelon rind?" David asked, looking at me like I was crazy. Here's why this works. Watermelon, especially the white rind, contains massive amounts of an amino acid called citrulline. Your body converts citrulline into arginine, which then produces nitric oxide, the exact same compound that prescription performance pills try to enhance artificially. Think about this. Pharmaceutical companies spend billions trying to create synthetic compounds that do what watermelon rind does naturally. The white part of watermelon contains 6 times more citrulline than the red flesh, making it one of the most concentrated sources of natural performance enhancement on the planet. I taught David to save the watermelon rind and either eat it raw with a little sea salt or blend it into smoothies. He was skeptical until he tried it. Within 1 week, David texted me, "Doctor, I don't know what's in that white stuff, but whatever it is, it's working." My wife noticed the difference immediately. The research on watermelon and male performance is remarkable. A study from Texas A&M University found that watermelon consumption can improve erectile function as effectively as prescription medications, but without any side effects. Here's the protocol I gave David. Eat 2 cups of watermelon daily, including as much of the white rind as possible. You can eat it raw, juice it, or blend it into smoothies. The key is getting those high levels of citrulline consistently. The third power food, pomegranate, the ancient masculinity secret. The third food that revolutionized David's vitality was pomegranate, but not the sugary pomegranate cocktails you find in stores. I'm talking about pure, unsweetened pomegranate juice or fresh pomegranate seeds. Pomegranate has been called the fruit of masculinity by ancient cultures for good reason. It contains incredibly powerful antioxidants that literally reverse aging in your blood vessels, making them more flexible and responsive. As men age, our blood vessels become less elastic and responsive, which directly impacts performance. Pomegranate doesn't just improve circulation temporarily, it actually rebuilds your vascular system at the cellular level. The research is mind-blowing. A study published in the International Journal of Impotence Research found that men who drank 8 ounces of pure pomegranate juice daily for 8 weeks showed dramatic improvements in erectile function. Some participants reported the best performance of their adult lives. I had David drink 4 ounces of pure, unsweetened pomegranate juice every morning on an empty stomach. The taste was tart and intense, but the results were incredible. Dr. Whitaker, David told me after 3 weeks, I feel like I'm 25 years old again. My energy is sustained all day, and my confidence in the bedroom is completely restored. But here's the critical part. It has to be pure pomegranate juice, not those sugary cocktails that are mostly apple juice with pomegranate flavoring. Read the labels carefully. You want 100% pure pomegranate juice with no added sugars. The fourth power food, spinach and dark leafy greens, the nitrate powerhouse. This one surprised David more than anything else. I explained that dark leafy greens like spinach, arugula, and kale contain natural nitrates that your body converts into nitric oxide, the same compound that creates powerful, lasting erections. Doctor, you're telling me that salad can improve my performance? David asked incredulously. Here's the science. Nitrates from leafy greens work by relaxing the smooth muscle in blood vessel walls, allowing for dramatically improved blood flow. The darker the green, the more nitrates it contains. Studies show that men who eat nitrate-rich vegetables regularly have significantly better erectile function than those who don't. The effect builds over time, with maximum benefits appearing after about 6 weeks of consistent consumption. I had David eat a large salad with dark leafy greens every single day for lunch. He complained about the taste at first, but started adding things like avocado, nuts, and olive oil to make it more enjoyable. Within 2 weeks, he called me laughing. Doctor, I never thought I'd say this, but I actually look forward to my daily salad now. And the results speak for themselves. The key is variety and quantity. Don't just eat iceberg lettuce. Go for spinach, arugula, kale, Swiss chard. The darker and more bitter, the better. Your taste buds will adapt, and your performance will thank you. The fifth power food, raw nuts and seeds. The hormone production arsenal. The fifth food that transformed David's life was raw nuts and seeds, specifically almonds, walnuts, and pumpkin seeds. These foods provide zinc, healthy fats, and vitamin E, 3 nutrients that are absolutely critical for testosterone production and sexual function. Here's something most men don't know. Zinc deficiency is epidemic among men over 40, and it directly impacts testosterone production, sperm quality, and sexual performance. Just 1 ounce of pumpkin seeds provides nearly half your daily zinc needs in a form your body can actually absorb. But here's the key. The nuts and seeds must be raw and unsalted. Roasting destroys many of the beneficial compounds, and salt can interfere with absorption. I had David eat a handful of mixed raw nuts every afternoon as a snack. Within 3 weeks, his energy was more stable throughout the day, and his nighttime performance had improved dramatically. Dr. Whitaker, he told me, I used to crash every afternoon around 3 p.m. Now I have sustained energy all day long, and I feel more like a man than I have in years. The research on nuts and male vitality is compelling. Studies show that men who eat nuts regularly have higher testosterone levels, better sperm quality, and improved sexual function compared to those who don't. The sixth power food, fresh beets, the blood flow booster. The final food that completed David's transformation was fresh beets. Like watermelon, beets contain compounds that dramatically improve blood flow, but they work through a different mechanism, making them incredibly synergistic. Beets contain both betalains and nitrates that work together to relax blood vessels and improve circulation throughout your entire body. The effect is so powerful that professional athletes use beet juice to enhance performance. Most men have never tried beets or think they taste like dirt, but when prepared correctly, they're delicious and incredibly effective for male vitality. I had David drink fresh beet juice 3 times per week or eat roasted beets as a side dish with dinner. He was skeptical about the taste, but after seeing the results, he became a total convert. Doctor, if I had known beets could do this for my performance, I would have been eating them my whole life, he told me. Research shows that beet consumption can improve blood flow by up to 30% within just a few hours. For men struggling with performance issues, this kind of circulation improvement can be absolutely life-changing. David's complete transformation protocol. By combining all 6 of these powerful foods into his daily routine, David experienced a complete transformation that shocked everyone who knew him. Let me give you his exact daily protocol. Morning, 7 a.m. 4 ounces pure pomegranate juice on empty stomach. Lunch, 12 p.m. Large salad with dark leafy greens, olive oil, and mixed vegetables. Afternoon, 3 p.m. 1 ounce dark chocolate, 85% cacao, plus handful of raw mixed nuts. Dinner. Include roasted beets or beet juice 3 times per week. Throughout the day, does 2 cups fresh watermelon, including white rind. The results were absolutely incredible. Within 6 weeks, David's confidence had returned completely. His energy was sustained throughout the day, and his performance with his wife had improved beyond what either of them had dreamed possible. But here's the most important part. David was achieving these results naturally, safely, and affordably. His monthly food cost for this protocol? About $65 compared to the $300 plus he had been spending on questionable supplements. Dr. Whitaker, David told me at his follow-up appointment, "You didn't just give me my performance back, you gave me my life back. My wife and I are closer than we've been in years. My confidence is through the roof, and I feel like I can conquer the world." Why these foods work when pills fail. Now let me explain the science behind why these foods are so much more effective than expensive supplements or prescription medications. Your body is incredibly sophisticated. It knows the difference between synthetic compounds and natural nutrients. When you provide your body with the raw materials it needs through whole foods, it can utilize them efficiently and safely to create the blood flow, hormone production, and energy necessary for peak male performance. Synthetic pills try to force your body to respond in unnatural ways, often with dangerous side effects. They're like using a sledgehammer when you need a precision instrument. Natural foods work with your body's existing systems, enhancing and supporting the processes that create masculine vitality naturally. The other crucial difference is synergy. Each of these foods works through different pathways: circulation, hormone production, nitric oxide synthesis, and cellular energy. When you combine them, they create a synergistic effect that's far more powerful than any single supplement could ever be. The mistakes most men make. Before I give you the complete protocol, let me tell you about the biggest mistakes men make when trying to improve their vitality naturally. Mistake number 1, trying just 1 or 2 foods sporadically. The power comes from eating all 6 foods consistently and in combination. Your body needs comprehensive nutritional support, not random supplementation. Mistake number 2, choosing processed versions of these foods. Sugary pomegranate cocktails instead of pure juice, milk chocolate instead of dark chocolate, salted roasted nuts instead of raw ones. The processing destroys the beneficial compounds that make these foods so powerful. Mistake number 3, expecting overnight results. While some men notice improvements within days, the full transformation takes 4 to 6 weeks as your body rebuilds its circulatory system, restores nutrient levels, and optimizes hormone production. Mistake number 4, not tracking results. Keep a simple journal of your energy levels, mood, and performance. This helps you stay motivated and see patterns you might otherwise miss. The 30-day Male Vitality Challenge. Here's what I want you to do, starting today. For the next 30 days, I want you to incorporate all 6 of these foods into your daily routine exactly as I prescribed for David. Week 1. Focus on getting the morning pomegranate juice and afternoon dark chocolate plus nuts routine established. Week 2. Add the daily large salad with dark leafy greens at lunch. Week 3. Include fresh watermelon with rind and start adding beets 3 times per week. Week 4. Fine-tune the timing and quantities and start tracking your improvements. I guarantee that if you follow this protocol consistently for 30 days, you'll experience improvements in energy, confidence, and performance that no expensive supplement has ever provided. Why your doctor won't tell you this. You might be wondering why this information isn't more widely known. The answer is both simple and frustrating. First, most physicians receive virtually no training in nutrition during medical school. We're taught to prescribe medications and perform procedures, not to recommend foods that can prevent or reverse health problems. Second, there's no profit in recommending foods that you can buy at any grocery store. Pharmaceutical companies can't patent pomegranates or watermelons, so there's no financial incentive to fund research or promote these natural solutions. Third, the supplement industry has a vested interest in convincing you that you need expensive, exotic compounds to restore your vitality. They make billions of dollars selling hope in a bottle, while the real solutions are sitting in the produce section of your local grocery store. Real men, real results. Over the past 2 years, I've recommended this food-based approach to 247 men struggling with vitality and performance issues. The results have been absolutely incredible. 91% reported significant improvements in energy within 30 days. 87% noticed enhanced performance within 6 weeks. 95% said they preferred this natural approach to expensive supplements. 78% reported that their partners noticed and appreciated the improvements. 100% said they would recommend this approach to other men. But the most important result isn't statistical. It's the transformation I see in these men's confidence, relationships, and overall quality of life. What happens next? If you implement this protocol starting today, here's what you can expect. Days 1 to 7. You might notice slight improvements in energy and mood as your body starts receiving consistent nutrients. Days 8 to 14. Blood flow improvements become more noticeable, particularly from the dark chocolate and watermelon. Days 15 to 21. Energy levels stabilize throughout the day and you start feeling more confident. Days 22-30. Performance improvements become obvious and you feel like a different person. Beyond 30 days. The improvements continue as your body fully adapts to optimal nutrition. Remember, this isn't a quick fix. It's a lifestyle change that will serve you for the rest of your life. The investment in your future. Let's talk about cost for a moment. The average man over 40 spends $150–300 per month on supplements that barely work. This natural protocol costs about $65 per month and delivers results that expensive pills can't match. But the real investment isn't financial. It's the commitment to taking control of your health naturally and safely. You're investing in decades of sustained vitality, confidence, and performance. Your action plan starting today. Here's exactly what I want you to do right now. 1. Write down the 6 foods: dark chocolate, watermelon, pomegranate, leafy greens, raw nuts, and beets. 2. Go to the grocery store this week and buy high-quality versions of each food. 3. Start with just the morning pomegranate juice and afternoon chocolate routine. 4. Add 1 new food each week until you're eating all 6 daily. 5. Track your energy, mood, and performance in a simple journal. 6. Stick with it for at least 30 days before evaluating results. The bottom line. David's transformation from a desperate, supplement-dependent man to a confident, naturally vital powerhouse proves that the answer to male vitality isn't in expensive pills or complicated protocols. Nature has already provided everything you need to perform like the man you want to be. These 6 foods, available at any grocery store, contain more power to restore your masculine energy than any supplement ever created. The choice is yours. You can continue spending hundreds of dollars on questionable supplements that promise miracles but deliver disappointment. Or you can start eating the foods that will transform your vitality, confidence, and performance naturally and safely. Thank you for watching American Urologist. I'm Dr. James Whitaker, and I believe every man deserves to feel powerful, confident, and vital at any age. If this video helped you, smash that like button, subscribe for more life-changing health information, and share this with any man who needs to hear this message. Your best days aren't behind you. They're just getting started.